Good morning, Crafty Leo. Give me a second. I'm just giving people time to get in, but let me get my tea poured. I'll be right back there. Good morning, Erica. Good morning, Fifi. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I think I gave everybody enough time. Morning, D Mood. Okay, I think I gave everybody enough time because I know the ads and stuff. But I'll give it a few more moments because I didn't do a thumbnail. Shout out to Psalms. She checked on me this morning, but I was just in the garden with the girls because now I have to get up early to let them out. Who? Well, the members, you saw the posting, but the girls have arrived. The Clucks have arrived. But let me give some more time for people to come in so they don't miss what I'm saying. Hey, Rambo, morning to you. Blessings, everybody. Okay. Oh, good to see Lashes. Okay. All right. One more second. Make sure my it's streaming okay on my phone because sometimes this internet is a little. I don't know how you upgrade your internet to the top fastest speed that they have, and it's still giving you problems. Definitely some interference. Oh, hold on. Fifi has a video. I have to destroy these pepper plants. Okay, gotta watch that. Don't know what happened there. Okay. So today is just a little chit chat about the urban gardening. Hold on, let me turn on the volume. There's a clash. First of all, I want to say thank you to somebody who's who hides in the bushes, who sent me a surprise gift. Thank you to you. That will be used to pay for the fig tree that they just sent me the final order form. So that pays for the fig tree. So thank you very much for you in the back, lurking in the back. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I didn't call your name because I think you did it in private, so that you want it in private. But you know who you are. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday it's sent, but I didn't look at my email until a few days later. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks to Psalms 146 for checking on me this morning. So appreciate that as well. But no, nothing was wrong. I was just lazy. Didn't do my thumbnails. Yesterday was a holiday here. I don't know if you guys celebrate Good Friday in terms of everything shut down. I'm not sure, but everything is shut down here. And most people who go to church I went to church on Good Friday, and my church is Caribbean, so Friday is fish and bread. Most of the Easter weekend, well, Easter, but we don't call it Easter anymore because that's a whole other conversation. But fish and bread, and you have bun and cheese, and you have you fast. I think you're supposed to fast on the Thursday, but nobody fasted this year. It was so busy. But yeah, fish and bread, and your kingfish, and your snapper, and all the different stuff we had. And then I came home to check on the girls because now I have responsibilities. So hold on. Okay, seems to be flowing good, the internet. Okay. So what happened? And I'll drop the link as well because today's just kind of like impromptu. I'm not really discussing anything, but there's a few things I've been watching this week. So I'm going to just do some more review on that and share it next week. Something, a gardening tip that seems to be, it's an old time thing that they used to do back in the day, but it seems to be very timing right now to do that, to add more production to your garden. I think it's going to be, and it's pretty much free. Some people do it the fancy way, but if you do it the low budget way, I think it's very good. But I'll share that next week because I have to do a little bit more research to make sure that, I can discuss it more effectively. But this week I got the girls. So the girls are the Cluck Clucks, and they're called the Urban Chicks for now because I can't think of another name. So the Urban Chicks, and there's 6 of them. I don't know. Let me tell you something. Don't follow me. If you're whatever number you're gonna get, make sure you have the space and the building and the run and all that stuff for the number that you're getting. Do not follow what I did and get hype up and go there and ordering, ready to lay. Not even chicks, ready to lay. So they're full size. When I saw them, I'm like, oh, they're a lot bigger. I pictured them to be more teenagers, and literally on Tuesday, I went to pick up the girls and honestly, it's not even just me. I think that the date that you schedule to pick up your birds, right? So this is from like November or December of last year. You select when you want to pick up the birds. So they had dates in February. They had dates in not February, March, April, and then May, all the way down. And certain breeds of birds were not ready until later on because I wanted to get the Wyandotte, but I didn't want to wait. So I said, okay, I'll get whatever I can get for the April date. And I pushed it back to April the 6th or whatever. Fine. Because March I thought was too cold. I go and pick up the birds them, and there's already an egg in the box waiting for me. So one of them's already laying. I come home, get them situated, and later on there's another egg. So 2 of them are fully laying. They started those hatch too early for an April pickup date. The nursery was supposed to have them as a teenager to start laying in a few weeks from when I received them. No, they were laying the day that I received them, or maybe even before. And those people took my eggs from my birds. I think they owe me some eggs. Anyways, so the 2 of them are already laying. So I think I got the birds that were too mature. Well, not too mature. They're 6 months old, but they were supposed to be like 5 months old. And then, So anyways, I've been watching chicken videos for about a year, and all the videos helped. But I didn't do things exactly the way I was supposed to. And now that I'm thinking, it's kind of my own fault because I didn't have enough room for the birds. So we were scrambling on the weekend before to add on a piece and to extend a piece. They probably took the eggs because if they were laying before I got them, that means they were getting eggs from my birds. Yes, they probably took my eggs. Because if they were laying 2 of them were laying when I got there. They didn't just start laying. Because you and I both know when you're moving birds, they get stressed out and they stop laying. So it stands to reason, in my opinion, that they were already laying. So that's fine. They owe me some eggs, maybe, but I'm just being petty. So the nursery, in my opinion, probably started that hatch too early because the eggs, they're mature. They're thickums. They're thick, fat girls, healthy. Hey, Miss Shirley, good morning to you. So when people tell you to lock the girls in a coop, you have to do that because the first 3 nights they weren't going to bed in the coop. They're going to bed in the run. I had to pick them up and fling them in there, and they're and it's a whole argument back and forth. I'm like, go to bed. I don't got time for this. I don't want you out. And the raccoon and the obese Denise and her crew. I don't want them to see you through the glass window. They're giving me attitude. And even before that, I was petting one of them in the, I call her Redding. She's one of the red sex links. Petting Redding, and this black one come and pick my hand. So I'm looking at her like, bitch. And she's like, ah. I'm like, yeah, because it didn't hurt me. So I'm like, okay, you think you're gonna peck me? So I call her Pepper because she's really peppery. Yeah, they were slapped. So I grabbed them and I flattened their wings down so they can't, and then they don't like that. And then my dad told me because I was afraid to break their wings or hurt them. So he's like, no, grab them by the wings. I'm like, so then he did it. I'm like, oh my God. And they were like flailing around and he just had them by the wings. And I'm like, isn't that going to hurt them? So you guys tell me, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to hurt them. So I'm being extra careful. But I had to, hey, good morning, Juicing with Jay. I had to grab them up. And these birds are hefty. But Fifi, you got to help me. One of the bird have diarrhea because I'm seeing like liquid, just liquid all over the place. And the water, I had to wash that off already. I had to wash off the food. Why are they doo-doo everywhere? Like, you guys are not exaggerating. In their food, in their water, on top of each other. They were roosting and 3 were under them. They all like to crowd together. They all fight, but then they all want to sleep right next to each other and under each other. I'm like, that's not really a good plan to sleep underneath somebody who might have diarrhea. But anyways, they worked it out last night. So I locked them on Good Friday. I went to church and I locked them in the small part with food and water. And I felt bad about it because it's a very small space. But I'm like, they're not gonna die. They're not gonna dead. So I locked them in there. I came back at about maybe 4 o'clock and I let them out because I felt bad. No, it's not a lot of work. It's not a lot of work. It's actually entertaining. But the problem I'm saying is don't get something until you have everything set up first. I was scrambling around at the last minute trying to get things set up. And that's why I'm having these issues. And if I had only ordered 4 or even 3, I would have been fine. But I went overboard. So this is it's not hard work. They're actually you put the food, you put the water, you leave them. They handle their own pecking order. They handle their own, dynamic, and they're fine. Yeah. So I think I put apple cider vinegar in the water. I didn't do it yesterday, but I did it again today. And I put in their food. I mixed it with like rosemary, basil, parsley, all the herbs, alfalfa pellets, sunflower seeds. I did a whole mix. And I gave them basil leaves today from my herb garden challenge, which they flung on the floor. And I gave them some lettuce from the my hydroponics. So I hope that will help. And I asked for electrolytes at the store when I picked them up, but they didn't have any in stock. So yeah, if it's not a lot of work, you just have to it's not a lot of work. If one didn't have diarrhea, it wouldn't be so messy. But one of them is probably the stress from the traveling. And I don't think that one is laying yet because I think but today, the ones that were kind of at the bottom of the pecking order woke up today with some attitude and was like, nah, we had enough. And they were literally like, I'm watching them fighting and like, don't come over here and peck in my area when I'm here pecking. And then the one, I'm like, cheese and peas. They are little monsters. They're rude and they're out of order. And then the one I'm calling Pecky Becky because she let to peck everybody for no reason. She's pecking their feet. She's pecking their head. She's pecking their neck. She's just pecking people. Like, are you helping them get the bugs off of their feathers? I don't know what you're doing, but it's not very nice. Anyways, last night they went to bed on their own. 4 of them went to bed on their own. The 5th one I had to fling in there, Pecky Becky, and she got mad. But I said, listen, I'm going to bed. I'm out here for over an hour every night fighting for them to go to bed. And then the 5th one, I took a stick and gave her a little conk, and she went up the stairs voluntarily because I can't reach all the corners. That's another problem. But I'm willing to live with that problem. I have their coop inside of a shed, so I can't go around it full circle. It's irritating, but I have to do what I have to do because at least in the building, the shed, the raccoon, they have an extra layer of protection and an extra buffer from like wind and cold and stuff. Because everyone's like, it's too cold for chickens. It's too cold for chickens. I'm like, I've been doing research for over a year. And I've been watching people who live in like cold climates. And their birds are outdoors all year with no supplemental heat. And those birds are fine. And when you look outside, you see robins, spirit chickadees, and all kind of birds that live outside all year. So why can't your chicken? One lady's like, do you have them in your basement? In my basement, you mind? Them stink. Those birds, and the birds stink. Oh, they stink. And I guess because one of them had run belly, I had them in the car in a cat carrier. And then I'm like, what's that smell? Maybe it's the farm that we're driving by. Oh no, it was the birds in my car. Then the Yep. Thanks, Ramble. Yeah, that they're, I'm not scaring anybody. I'm just saying, good morning to you, Black Guns and Gardens. And I think Black Guns and Gardens got some chicks as well. I know I've been watching him. He got his birds as well. So I got mine. And even that, a lot of people were like telling me, oh, I have to get chicks. Do not have the time to be monitoring chicks. So I chose to get ready to lay. They're already know how to clean themselves, dust bathe. They know how to, yes, you don't have that same bonding, but it's not hard to bond with an animal. Like two of them already let me pet them. Two of them are a little skittish, but they know who I am. They know my voice. They know my sister. Like, they know who we are. I'm going to be feeding them. I'm going to be cleaning them. So they're going to get used to me. So this whole idea of, oh, you have to bond with them. They're not kids that you gave birth to. They're a feather friend. So you can still bond with them. So I sat down I would say Wednesday, sat down at the door of the shed and just was watching them and vibing with them, and they kind of, watch you, see what you're doing. But yeah, I got ready to lay because it's easier for me, and I don't have to watch the heat and pasty butt and all that stuff. No, 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 no. I'm done with that. I'll do that next time. I wanted us to get eggs right away and start my homesteading journey. And if one of them goes broody, I can maybe order fertilized eggs. But there's not one way to do something. People seem to think you have to get chicks. You don't have to do nothing. You can get a fully ready to lay hen. And to me, it cost me more for the bird, but it's cheaper. I didn't have to feed them for 6 months. So, six of one, half a dozen of another. It's the same thing. The birds I think cost $17. If I told you last time, $17. Hey, morning bud files, $17 for a ready to lay hen. And from the time that I picked them up, I'm getting 2 eggs a day. I have 8 eggs right now. Today's eggs haven't come in yet. I was waiting for her to lay her egg. The morning layer, she usually lays by 7:30. I was out there waiting until almost after 8. I didn't see no egg. And even that, those of you who have hens or getting hens, when people tell you to put a golf ball or a fake egg, you need to do that, because the first day the eggs were all over the place. And in places that I couldn't even reach them. I had to go and crawl in there to go find egg. Then I came back and I see somebody pecking something. They're pecking the egg. When I pick up the egg was hot. It just came out. Egg was hot. And the other chicken already pecking at the egg. So I had to put a golf ball on Thursday. I had to borrow a golf ball from somebody and put it in there. And right away, the next day, they're laying the eggs by the golf ball. So all these little things that people tell you to do, and you think, oh, I'll do it different. No, 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 no. They are they have behavior. You have to know from other people who already have them. Yes, they are so cool. I deal with the pasty butt, but they yeah, there's yeah, I think you have a good amount. I think you had 6, or I can't remember how many you got, but you have less than 10. That's a good number for, I think, for us who are new. I have 6, because if you get more than that, but they're so cute. I find them, they're not high maintenance. Like, it's just literally do what people have told you to do. Buy good quality food, mix the food with other natural stuff. So all your herbs, I'm going to have to buy some more because my mix isn't as rich as I want. You can use rolled oats, all the different stuff. And I find that they're eating everything. At first, the alfalfa pellets, they weren't eating them because maybe they're too big. But when I look, they're being eaten. So I'm gonna next time take the alfalfa pellets and kind of smash them first before I mix them. But they don't mind the hot pepper. They don't mind. Even I put a little drop of cayenne pepper tincture in the water to whatever that bug is giving them diarrhea, to kill that. That seems to work. Um, Let me see here. I hope you do in the future. Yeah. I wonder if I should do, like, I'm wondering if I do chicks, if I should just buy the chicks or buy eggs and get an incubator and like actually watch them hatch. I'll do one of the two because, you know, I'm trying to be self-sufficient, and this is the point. And the title of the video, "The Sky is Falling," according to Chicken Little, a sarcasm, but also seriously, because a lot of what we're hearing nowadays is so negative. Like, I know we're trying to get ready for, if something hits the fan or emergencies, or if we can't get things that we need, but man, some people are just downers. Like, I have to just kind of step away and not be watching so much of that content. It's like such a downer. I don't want to hear every day the sky is falling. Like, really? The sky's been falling for the last 50 years, if you want to be honest. And all now we're most of us are still been here and we're still here. I don't want to hear, oh, it's falling, oh, it's falling, oh, it's gonna crash. And even if things are gonna crash and burn, there's always people who are gonna survive. I don't want to hear, hey, Sam, I got your message this morning. So yes, Thanks for checking on me. And good morning, Shakira. But hold on. I've never used fake eggs. That's the difference of raising them. But Fifi, did you lock yours in the coop? I think you said you locked them in the coop. And I didn't lock mine in the coop. I just put them in the whole thing, and they went all over the place willy nilly, laying all over the place. So I think if I had locked them in the coop, they wouldn't have done that. But yeah, you've never used fake eggs. I think I saw you doing a video and you locked them in the coop. But yeah, I'm tired of hearing this. Like, oh my god, I'm just like, so yeah, I'm here and there in these streets, but I'm not all over the place because I'm really not in the mood to be hearing negative, negative, negative all the time. Like the sky's been falling, and there's things that have been in play from years ago that's come out. I watched a video from a big channel. I'm not going to call the big channel's name, but it's a big channel, over a million. To let you know, it's a big channel, and he does a lot of videos on different topics, usually food and corruption and different things. Most of you probably know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to call it their name. And he did a video talking about and I sent it to my family in my phone about that's yeah. If you lock them in the coop for a couple of days, they know that's their bed, that's where they go to sleep, and that's where they lay their eggs. I didn't do that, so my chickens are like discombobulated. But this man did a video on food and what they're putting in the food, and they mentioned RN blank. I don't want to say the whole acronym because it's might get me in trouble, but for the last 3 years there's a certain technology that has been put forth. That's the technology that they're talking about to put in food. And he mentioned beef and pork. So if you know the video that I'm talking about, then you know, but don't say the name. You guys need to watch that video. Um, it's a big channel, so it's not hard to find. Let me find the title of the video so that at least you can, put it in the search engine and it'll pop it up without me saying too much. 1 second here. I'm checking the feed that I sent to my family. It says, yeah, it's the video is called "Cattle and Pork Will Be Infected." So if you search for that in the search engine, this will come up, and you'll find out. I think they mentioned that this technology has been in play, and it's been pushed by the HIN. I'm saying it backwards, HIN, but reverse it. And they've been doing this technology from at least, I think it's either 2005 or 2015, something with a 5. And this has been in play from them times. That's what they've been doing. So, yeah. So I was talking about spinach and lettuce before. It's even worse. It's gone beyond. So literally everything that we're eating potentially can, yeah. So I'm not going to go into that too deep, but start actively. Those of you who are kind of been hesitant about getting chickens or getting quail, or they're annoying or one's better than the other. Listen, you do what's best for your situation. If you're in an apartment or a small place, then maybe quail is better for you. I have room for chickens, so I got chickens, but I may get quail in the garage. Who knows? I'm not locking down to any one thing. I want options. I want variety. I want to be able to, you know, provide different types of protein and figure things out as I go. I cannot get ducks or anything, or sheep or goats. I don't have the land for that. I'm in an urban setting. Does not mean you can't grow enough food to feed yourself, and you can't have some kind of meat protein if you choose to. And some people have those large IBC totes and they put fish in there. So you can do whatever you want to do. I don't want to spend any more time watching all these fear-mongering videos and getting put into a frenzy all the time. I'm tired of it. Hold on, let me fix my face. I'm tired of it because it's just too much stress, and obviously it's to get clicks, but I'm not really spending my time doing that. We're here to talk about solutions and what you can do. We all know that we can't have everything prepared. We do our best, but that fear mongering, like You have to wonder, do these people enjoy any part of life? Do they have fun? Do they laugh? Do they even smile? Nobody, it's not even healthy to live like that. And oh, Miss Shirley, I saw you cutting a rug at the Soil Family Expo. You and Cheryl and everybody just cutting a rug. I said, what? And that's what I'm talking about. Having fun, enjoying life. Not every day, wah, 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 wah. The sky is falling. Oh, it's gonna crash. Listen, there's very smart people. There's very intelligent people who are spiritually minded. And there's always a way to, like, as far as I'm concerned, I've heard a lot of talk about like even the economy and crypto and all the different stuff about crypto. And a lot of people believe this is the biggest wealth transfer of our generation. It may not be ideal and the control mechanisms that are attaching to that, but this is the greatest wealth transfer of our generation. And many people have an opportunity, in my opinion, it's not financial advice, to get wealthy because they know how to work the system, but they are not part of the system. They are separate and they don't believe in that, and they don't, but they understand that the wealth that they can generate can give them access to a more comfortable setup if they play their cards right. And that's what we need to also talk about. Not fear, 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 fear. I don't know if we all read different Bibles. Maybe we do, but as far as I'm concerned, Joseph was a high leader in the Egyptian camp and was able to save his people and his family and provide food in the time of famine. There's always going to be somebody who's going to be in the system, but they're not really of the system. And maybe we need to start talking about those people, and maybe we can be those people. We know how to work the system, we know how to maneuver the system. It's the same as being a spy, an undercover spy, or whatever you want to call it, double agent. You pretend to be down with them, but you're really not. That's what we need to also talk about. Not, oh my God, oh my. Listen, if I operated in fear all the time, I don't think I would even be here today to even talk to you, because it was the stress would have killed a lot of us already. So let's find solutions. If you want to feed your family and feed your children and your small circle, you do what you have to do. If that means morning to you, broke farmer. If that means that you have to cut back on the Starbucks and all the foolishness that you're doing, then that's what you have to do. And we don't keep talking about it. I don't talk about things for 5-10 years. If you notice by now, I mentioned I'm going to do something and I work towards it and I get it done. I don't sit here talking for 5-10 years. Oh, I'm shoulda, coulda, woulda. Oh, I wish. It ain't no wishing over here. I just do it. And everybody, even yesterday, I showed some people, oh, I got some birds. Isn't it too cold for birds? How can you have them like black, negative, 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 negative? They don't even know what they're talking about. Number one, they don't know what they're talking about, and they haven't done the research. And that's why I do things on my own behind the scenes in this research and ask people who are experts, because if you ask other people, they'll talk you out of your own vision. The sky's falling. The sky's been falling for over 50 years, as far as I can count. I've been hearing that from my aunts, my great aunts. Oh, the sky is falling. Remember Y2K? Everybody, did some foolishness for Y2K. The computers are going to stop working. Oh, everything's going to stop working. We're still here. It's 2023. We still here. The computers haven't stopped working. They're actually emulating human behavior. So that didn't go as planned. Let's try to be a voice of reason. And some people, oh yeah, and Psalms and Psalms, I don't know if you heard me earlier. Make sure you're ready. Make sure not to scare you. I did not have enough room for mine, so make sure you have a setup that can fit. For you, have a setup that can fit 8 to 10. Don't keep it to the number, because I have to go scramble and get another run, which is coming on Monday. It has to be assembled and all these extra work that wasn't done. So make sure you're ready to make it easier for you, and lock them in the coop so that they know where to go to bed at night. Because I've been fighting for 3 days to get them to go to bed, and last night they went to bed on their own, except for one. I had to fling them in there. But yeah, enough of this. Like, oh my God, negative. The sky is falling. It's that only God you fear. Sometimes we need to read things in their proper context. And there's been suffering from generations. There's always a story, but there's always people who persevere. Yep, you got to recoup all that dancing. You guys were dropping it like it was hot. The Bible tells us that yes, the Bible. If the Bible wasn't in existence and we didn't know, then yes, I probably would be fearful. But He already told us the ending, and we already know that suffering's gonna come. But I don't want to spend my days and hours dwelling on it. And a lot of us are, you know, watching. Maybe it was me. I don't know if it was me or just the feeds give me all of this content of that particular mindset. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to be in these downer chats talking about the sky is falling and, SHTF, SHTF. How about something else? How about growing some food? How about becoming self sufficient? How about like planter using less water? How about figuring out how to survive without third party interference or technology? The sky's gonna fall. Whether I'm here, not here, whether I'm talking about it or not, the sky is going to fall when it's going to fall. Until it falls, I don't want to talk about it every day. Maybe I'm being, ridiculous, but I don't want to talk about it every day. And I had to this week say, you know what? I'm not going into these chats that all we talk about is the sky falling. I'll pop in here and there and get some tips because the tips are always useful. Good morning, Jova. The tips are useful, but I'm not spending like I was watching the Soil Family Expo, some of the clips. I was in Mona's live, and at the same time, Sunshine went live at the same band was playing, so I got to see two different perspectives at the same time. And they're all laughing, dancing, dropping like it's hot. Cheryl, F.R. Humphrey, Miss Shirley, they're all, mature women. I saw some other people, I can't remember their names. J3GS was there and people that I recognize were there. They're all mature people having a good time. Do you think they're sitting there talking about the sky was falling? They were there dropping it like it was hot, listening to music, eating, having fun. This is what we need to be doing. Enjoy the time that we have on earth. We don't know how much time we're going to be here. We hope to grow old, but I've seen people who haven't hit 50 and they already gone. I don't want to spend my days talking about the sky is falling. Always go with the bigger. Yes, with the chickens, guys. I don't think it's fair to have them all tight and squeezed up. So you built for 30, but you have 17. Exactly. So I'm promoting, anybody who thinks they want to get chickens, I'm really promoting it. You do not have to get 6. I went over the chicken math hit me. I wanted to get every species, and you had to get 2 minimum. And I wanted Wyandotte, and I wanted, this one and that one, and they look so cute. Then I had to tone it down to 6, and even that was too much. So if you can afford and have space for 3, you can do 3. And they really just take care of themselves. And once you throw food on the floor, they just sit there and peck all day. They've been eating sand for the most part. They've been eating the sand for the run and chewing on sand, I guess, for their grit. I bought some on Amazon. I got that Thursday night. I got some grub. No, what's the other one? Not grub, mealworm. I got some oyster shells and I got some nesting pad boxes. And today the fake eggs are coming. I couldn't get them yesterday or Thursday. So once that comes, I can and I have the water in the coop. It stinks in there, but I had to put the water and the food in there to make them learn to go to bed there and stop going all over the place. So once that's done, Monday when I get the delivery, I think I'll set up on Tuesday the extra run outside. I got to cover it with better mesh because the mesh that comes with it is crap, and put a cover on it so that way the birds are fully protected. But let me catch up with the chat 1 second here. They always get bigger, but I've been saying this for before I got the birds. Get your birds. My husband bought a parakeet birdkey yesterday. I just smiled at his good intentions. 5 more of them. So what's happening? I don't even know. So you can let us know, Sam, if you want to let us know. Are you getting a coop? I'm not sure how you're doing it. Yeah, that stuff will stress you out. Exactly. Have fun. Enjoy your life. Enjoy living. Stop talking about if everything's ending. But in the meantime, exactly. Do what you can do right now. Have fun, but if you can get some chickens, I recommend getting some chickens. learning how to handle livestock and your animals. And I've got 8 eggs and I'm waiting for my 2 eggs today. I'm like, pay your rent. You better start laying. And I said to the other 4, you better start laying because I'm feeding you not for free. Lay me some eggs. That's going to be 6 eggs a day that I'm sharing. It's a family project. As I keep saying, they're here at my house, but it's a family project. So the 4 of us have put in financially to get the coop and all the different stuff for it. And all the eggs are split amongst us. And if we want to sell some of the eggs, maybe, who knows? Um, we can sell some to kind of pay for the food. Not expensive, but just to cover the cost of the food. I'm not really down. And we should talk about this too as well. I'm down for sharing and giving to neighbors, but I'm not down for being the one always giving and not getting something in return. That's kind of where I'm at now. Mealworms, that's right, mealworms. I'm kind of like, I'm not giving unless it's some kind of reciprocity. And that may sound mean, but I'm not just giving. Like, I have to pay for all this stuff to, infrastructure. I got to clean that coop almost every day to make sure it smells nice until it gets hot to see, okay, how long can I leave it before I have to really clean it? I got to buy all these accessories and DE and barn dry and all this different stuff to have them, which I don't mind. But I don't think I should be just giving the products away like it didn't cost me something and then they don't give me nothing in return. I'm not saying you got to give me eggs, but you can give me, like, they don't grow food. I don't know what they can give me. Like, and that's what I'm thinking of. It's like, you got to have something to barter with. And some people that we're bartering with don't give us nothing. Do they have skills? Some people I know give me coupons. They have access to these companies that give like these great discounts and stuff, and they give you coupons or special family and friends discounts or stuff like that. Even something like that to decrease the cost of the groceries. But I'm not here giving people stuff for free. I'm not. I'm kind of living as if I have to barter every day for everything that I have. I have enough friends. I have enough enemies. I have frenemies. I don't need to be making nice with everybody. It's like, I got eggs. What do you got to trade with? That's kind of what I'm what I'm doing right now. Let me just catch up with the chat. I always tell my kids when I leave this place is just my time and I'm leaving happy. So live on and celebrate. Exactly. Time is so short. Live every, like, enjoy your life. And I know people, trying to make a living on this platform and other platforms, and all he preaches, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. You don't know when the sky is going to fall. Only God knows that. And he has said, we do not know the day or the time. You think it's happening tomorrow, it's not happening tomorrow. Yeah, they got to pay their rent. They got to lay some eggs. Hey, Shar, good to see you. Yeah, you can come over and see them. Let me get the place organized first. Let me get the other run built first, which is going to be this week, and get the place looking decent. Oh, they're not chicks. They're grown women. They're grown women, fully feathered and big booties, man. Gonna try to build a coop in the basement as soon as the downstairs neighbor is gone. We definitely can't keep them outside because they're not allowed. Oh, and you got 6? Girl, you really worse than me. I got 6. I'm not allowed, but they're outside. If I had to have them inside, I probably would have gotten only 2. It's not impossible, though. There's somebody I saw. I can't remember where I saw it from, but they had in their basement, they built something, and they had and it was either an Italian family, because even in my neighborhood, we had a lot of Italians and they all had chickens and they weren't allowed. What got them in trouble was they each had a rooster, and that was just too noisy. And then the city just banned it altogether. If they never did that, I think we would still be allowed to have chickens. But there is a project going on in the city right now, and they're allowing certain people to have chickens to quote unquote test it out. So I'm just going to say that I'm part of the pilot project, my own self pilot. I doing my own pilot project. But they had a basement and they had them in there. And I think they had a lot of different products to use, and it didn't stink. Well, it's going to smell. They are going to smell, but they don't have to like stink. But you will know that, okay, there's animals down there, and just change the bedding regularly and you're good. It's not impossible. I know someone who did that in the basement and then in the garage, and they never had to buy eggs ever. And they used to even butcher them and have their own meat in the freezer. So just And then let's see here. I did that for I did that for years. I have stopped giving. I learned to be selfish a little because this lifestyle is very expensive in this country. Exactly. Exactly. I've given a lot. I've given a lot in terms of even startlings, seedlings, trying to get people motivated to plant. And it's not easy, especially, people have help and then they want me to, like, I had to put my foot down. And then my dad's like, "Oh, why don't you help your neighbors?" And I had to tell my dad and look at him dead in his eye. And I don't care. This may be, oh, it's sex chauvinistic. If you have a man in your house, don't ask me for diddly squat. I'm not mowing your lawn. I'll mow the neighbors because he's an elderly. That's a bit different. But if you got a man, he has two tenants in the back, and they are two couples, and there's a man in each. So I ain't shoveling your driveway. I ain't doing nothing. You got a man in your house, you don't get their men off their lazy behind to go do the man work. I have to do it because I don't have no man living here. So that's different. But don't ask me to be going here and help. Well, give them a hand. Hand what? So I'm not doing it. If I was a man, my mentality would be different because he's telling me as a man. I'm like, no, I'm a woman. I'm not doing extra work for other people. For what? I have to let my knees last me till I'm 75. I'm not going to be doing extra work. Mm-mm. Anyways, back to the topic. I gave eggs, produce from my garden, whole chickens, and no one but one family has always contributed until I had to stop them. They're the only one yeah, I agree with that. When people appreciate what you're giving them, that's different. But I'm not going to be out here just giving. It costs money. And I was talking to my sister. She goes, "Well, what if they don't want to pay? Then they're not getting it." Well, you can't have all those eggs. I go, "Listen, if I had to buy a freeze dryer so I can freeze dry the eggs and make them last for 25 years, I'll do that. Or I will freeze them. I know you can freeze whole eggs and put them in molds and freeze them. I would rather do that than just to give people, and they don't appreciate it. They're just take it. I'm not saying, buy me a little $15 gift card to the grocery store once in a while. You don't have to give me nothing big, but show some kind of appreciation. No, they want to take, don't want to give. The minimum order for females was 5. So I figured, why not add an extra? Oh my God, Psalms, you're going to have to share. Hey, good morning, Crafty Mom. You're going to have to share that. And let me drop the link again because, you guys can even share your stories of what you're learning in 2023 for gardening and homesteading and being self-sufficient. I advise against raising chickens indoors. Yeah, it gets very dusty. I used to have my baby chicks in my basement until they feathered out, and then it was warm enough, then you put them outside. Yeah, I know people who've done it because they had no other choice. It was not allowed. So I don't know what they did, but certainly I guess you can even buy an air purifier just to keep cleaning I don't know. You're going to have to Psalms is going to have to do some extreme things to make it work and not affect her health or her lungs, but it can work. It's just going to take more work than me having them outside and the air blowing in the breeze. But it's not impossible. Just that I can't really advise you because I'm not doing it that way, but people have done it that way. They have, and they've been doing it for years. And their house didn't smell, but it took a lot more work. I guess every day they were cleaning. But I can tell you right now, I'm getting a lot of compost because those little machines just be pooping all the time. Except for the one that has diarrhea, I'm gonna have to figure out. But the vinegar should be helping. I think you missed my comment earlier. I bought. Yeah. I think I missed it, but I know you have a rooster because he's not wearing his collar anymore, so he's out there making noise. But you have an incubator, yeah, and that makes sense. You are at the next stage of being independent when it comes to the birds. You can. Good morning to you, Planter Garden. You can hatch your eggs whenever you need to. If you don't want to do them this year or every other year, you have options. And that's the stage that I want to get to. But I can't get, well, I can't. It's going to be very difficult to do it here because I'm not allowed to have them in the first place. And if I'm going to keep adding to the flock, it's like I'm going to have to get rid of some of the older girls, or the plan is to move somewhere else. That's the plan. But if you cannot get chickens, this is not about, this is not the pro chicken committee. I'm pro having your own options for food. So if that means you have to have quail, nothing wrong with quail. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, quail's so small, one can't fill me up." In my opinion, this is my opinion, which I'll say freely because it's on my channel, so I can say what I want on my channel. Most of us eat too much meat in the first place. Some people don't even eat meat at all. Some people don't even eat meat. So there's no there's no loss for them. Oh, oh, the bird's so small, like the size of a cell phone. That's not enough meat. It is enough meat, to be honest. Some of y'all eat too much meat. Some of y'all have so much meat on your body that you're just feeding. Anyways, I'm not going to go there. You're feeding the wrong cells, and that's why you're craving. Have lots of vegetables, maybe some carbs, and a small bit of meat. You don't need to have a big old chicken. A whole chicken would last me literally for a week and a half. I don't eat that much meat. I like meat, I do, but I don't eat it in the volume that you guys eat. It's too much. And sometimes I don't even want meat. So people keep saying, oh, they're so small. The birds are so small. Quail can be ready to lay eggs in, I think, 6 weeks versus chickens that take 6 months. So you do the math. You figure out for your situation 6 weeks, 6 months. The food is pretty much the same cost. You can have a male and females because the males are very quiet. They're kind of like having robins and wild birds. They're not very noisy. So those of you who live in areas that you cannot have it, quail would probably be easier to hide than chickens. And my chickens, actually, to be honest, I'm glad that they're here. I thought they were going to be noisy. They're very quiet, but when they're laying an egg, they're a bit, and when they're fighting each other, they kind of get a little louder, but they're not loud. They're very quiet. They're just chilling. But quail is nothing wrong with quail. That's all you can have. And I want to try quail. I just haven't had a chance to. It was easier for me to get a chicken coop than a quail cage. And those are like specialty. I don't know why. It was easier for me to do that than to look into the quail. But I can get those whatever button quail. They have Cortinox, and they have another breed of quail I saw here. I think the Japanese something. There's 3 kinds that they have that I can get access to. And you can get them with a male and a male and 3 females. And that male will fertilize their eggs, and you can even hatch your own quail eggs. So you can have a self-sufficient thing going on with quail right away. So don't let no one talk to you. Well, that's not filling. Then eat 2 quail at a time. I don't know. Do whatever you want. But they lay eggs in 6 weeks. So every 6 weeks you can be hatching out more eggs. Do your own, don't let anybody tell you one or the other. I did chickens. I love, and I'm happy that I got them. They got personalities, man. So one is named Redding because she's very red, and her sidekick is Clover. So her name is Clover. Then the one that pecked me, he's the 2 black ones. One is called Pepper, and the other one's called Pecky Becky because she likes to peck people because she's petty. The 2 Plymouths, I can't tell them apart. Their comb size is exactly the same. I cannot tell them, but one's a little plumper than the other. So I'm probably going to call them, I don't know, something, salt and pepper, but they already have a pepper. So I have to call them something else because they're 2, and birds of a feather flock together. The 2 that I have that are the same breed, they stick together. And then they tag team when they want to fight. They're so awful. But the 2 black ones, I got red sex links and black sex links. I really wanted the copper Moran, but they were not going to be ready until May. And I didn't want to get like 4 birds and then get 2 birds later on and make them mesh together and have more fighting. I wanted them all to come at the same time and then just learn to get along. But the black sex links actually look just like copper Moran. So I'm quite happy. They have that same emerald green in the leaves. I keep calling leaves in the feathers, and they have that copper chest. So it's very cute. Meat birds. Yes, but I don't think I can do that here, Fifi. That's what I'm trying to like. I'm trying to make some big moves this year to kind of. I don't know if I can move this year, but just make some big moves in terms of finding some land, because I do want to get meat birds. But I think that would really expose me to the neighbors. My immediate neighbors are cool because I've talked to them before I even got the birds, and they're like, "Yeah, cool." Like, they'll mind their own business and whatever. But the other neighbors, I'm not too sure. And those meat birds, I heard they do smell funky. But you can tell me. I know you have, like, I think my lawn, I'm gonna make it all wood chips like yours is, because I'm not, once they start digging up the lawn, there's not going to be any grass. So I'm going to just make the whole back lawn probably wood chips to make my life easier, and that will probably attract more bugs. But I think Broke Farmer had done a video on wood chips, so I got to make sure. I think it's pine. Do not get anything that's pine, because I think the cockroaches like pine, and I was like hell to the no with that. So check out Broke Farmer had a video last year, 2022, on different types of mulch, and one of them attracted a lot of cockroaches. So I think it was pine. Don't get pine. But everything that you buy for a coop, in terms of like a stall for horses, is pine. So the pine pellets. Does somebody know if pine pellets attract cockroaches? Because I was thinking of using pine pellets to put in their outdoor coop once it gets all the grass is gone, and that will keep the mud and the stuff from being dirty. Yeah, I remember that video. And all now I'm like, a lot of the last thing you need is cockroaches. Can you imagine? I have these birds illegally, and now I'm bringing the neighbors are gonna call on me, and then the mic. Anyways, let's not even go there. Let's not mind even go there. Yes, they do, but have yes, they do, but they have the gold chest. Yeah, they're good looking chickens. The black sexlings are very nice looking chickens. They're very regal, but they're very feisty. But I think the nursery clipped their beak, because I'm looking at their beak and it looks like as a human they have a cleft chin, or is it called a cleft chin when the bottom sticks out more than the top? Yeah, cleft, something like that. So the top beak is like it's clipped, and it's a blunt. I'm like, that doesn't look normal. That doesn't look right. And two of them have it more than the others, but they all seem to have their beaks clipped. So I guess that's what they do, but I guess it prevents them. But you know what? I think they have to cleft. Yeah, but I think they clip their beak, and I think they have to. Some people may say that's mean, but Pecky Becky picks the birds for no reason, and they've been there for 3 days. And if she had a sharper beak, most likely she would have probably done some damage. And then the other one that's getting pecked is just sitting there like, okay, so are they being friendly? Are they cleaning each other's feathers? I don't know if it's an act of aggression sometimes, or they're just like, but yeah, I think the nursery, and I didn't see that in any of the advertisement, but their beaks have been clipped for sure. Okay. And today's drink is green tea with some basil leaves for my herb garden challenge. I put some basil leaves in there and some moringa leaves. Tastes very nice. Tastes like a Caribbean bush, the bush tea when you mix up all the bush. Um, I don't have any cockroaches issues. And is that for the pine pellets? Because I think pine needles, yeah, Brooke says pine needles attract cockroaches. That just stuck in my. I said, oh, since I heard pine, and that's all I heard. Anything pine, I'm like, oh, I don't want no cockroaches. So that's my story. So I don't care what you guys got to do. And a lot of you have more space than I do, and a lot of you have a lot more animal. Like you've been around animals, and you're very comfortable with raising animals and stuff. You can get some chickens, and I think if you start with 3, as I said before, with that study in Belgium, you definitely can do 3. If you have room for 6, by all means get 6, because you'll get 6 eggs per day. Maybe not 6, sometimes you get 4 or 5 per day. And if you have enough space, it's not any more work. The work is the same. You change the big thing of water, you top up the big, hanging thing of food, and you have to rake out the mess in the coop. And the run, you can just stir it around, or they'll do it for you, and you're fine. The work is still the same whether you have 3 or you have 6, maybe up to 10. Maybe the work is the same. And if you go beyond 10, I can't speak to that, but you know um okay, I thought you meant the wood chips. No, certain mulch, he said, but he said it's pine needles, because some people use pine needles as mulch. Those were the ones that cause, yeah, attract. But I'm going to use cedar. I can get cedar here easily, but I saw that they sell at the, I guess I'll call it the feed store, that where you buy your birds from, and you can get animal products. They have the big bags of pine pellets that they use in horse stalls. But a lot of people, I saw about 3 channels on YT. They use it in their outdoor run because the outdoor run gets muddy, and they find that sand kind of clumps up and doesn't give them what they want. The mulch is okay, but they find the pine pellets keep it drier and stuff in the outdoor areas if you have that kind of flooding problem. And my lawn was wet. It's clay and it was muddy up until today. Today it's kind of drying out because it's been raining a lot. But yeah, they've been using pine. So I'm gonna go look at the store for the bag of horse. And they said that it's not the ones that you use in the wood stove. That's different. Well, I don't know if it's really different, but they say it's different. So the ones that go in the wood stove, I can find them as well, but I'm not sure if that's the one they're talking about. So I'm gonna buy the one that's made for horse stables. That one is okay, they said. I think 4 chickens is a good start. I'm excited for anyone who would get chickens. I would never. Yeah, chickens are easy. I don't have to walk them. I don't have to, well, they're not going to the vet. I'll tell you that right now. We're not going to, because I'm not supposed to have them anyway. So we're not going to no vet. I'm going to have to go to vet school on YouTube and figure out how to fix any problems. And they are dust bathing because these birds do whatever they want wherever they want to. But then I realize they're trying to tell you something and you have to pay attention. So I have sand all in the run, but the sand in the front was the new sand that I put in from the Home Depot, the construction sand. The other sand is in the other side was the kid sand, like the sand pit sand, play sand. And the play sand is more, it holds moisture more. And I guess they don't like, obviously they're not going to bathe in that. So I had to get my dad to go underneath and open and create a door at the bottom so I can actually sit on a cushion, be down on the ground, because you cannot access that part any other way because of the way how the coop is. And I can't go around the coop because it's in a building. So now I have to be going down on the ground. And I'm like, on a cushion because I can't go on the ground and knee on the ground because I don't know about some of y'all, my knees hurt. When I go on a hard surface, I have to have a thick cushion. So then, I went down and I put the more of the construction sand back there. And this morning they could tell the difference right away. They can tell. They're like back there, kicking it up, moving it around. I want them to dust bathe over there. She was dust bathing by the food. Sand was splashing all in the water, all in the food. And I'm looking at her like, really? And she's just splashing it, splashing it, splashing it in my face. Didn't care. But they're keeping themselves clean. So that's good. That's a good sign. And I bought a bag of barn dry or something to that. I thought stall dry. And it's mixed with like clay, charcoal, and diatomaceous earth. So that's what you need to keep the bugs away. So they're having a good old time with that. Playground sand. Playground sand. I read up on it and people were using it, but then I saw another video recently that said, no, use the general purpose sand from the big box stores. The construction sand, it's not as fine and it's more gritty, and they're actually eating that sand as grit. So it's 2 for 1. I did buy some oyster shells, which I got Thursday. So I will be putting some in their food, but the sand is working. I have an indoor run and an outdoor run. So when it rains a lot in the spring, I keep them. Exactly. It gets too muddy. So the other people I saw them they put leaves, and the leaves help for like a day, but then it gets, trampled in the mud. So they found that the pine pellets work better. It absorbs the moisture, it keeps it dry, and it smells like pine. So it's appealing. So I haven't tried it yet, but I might try it. I've heard that feeding them an herb, I think rosemary, keeps them out. Yeah, that's why I put. What did I mix with mine? I have a video on Instagram that I saved, but ultimately the woman says any herb. So I actually put parsley. I bought like the big, not that big. I need to buy a big bottle of like the parsley. Oregano is very good for them as well, and I'm going to be planting more outside, kind of near them, so they can pick on a real plant. And rosemary. So rosemary, oregano, parsley, basil. I use the dry basil in their food, and red chili flakes, because the red chili flakes kills internal worms and parasites, and the other herbs help them pass it out. That's what was said. So Spicy pepper stuff will kill the worms, and the herbs help them pass it. It's antimicrobial, antifungal, and then apple cider vinegar with their water. Now, just like a teaspoon. You don't have to pour a whole bunch, but apple cider vinegar with the mother. You put that in their water, and it helps them with any internal problems. So I'm doing all of that because, hello, the herb garden challenge that we're doing for ourselves is also for the animals. And if your animal's immune system is up, you're fine, because you don't want to have to be going to the vet for foolishness. Because trust me, the vets just charge you just to bring them in. They won't tell you over the phone. They're like, bring them in, and then it counts as an appointment, and they charge you for a consultation, and then you have to now pay for medication. And they're very good at guilt tripping you into getting x-rays and all these tests, and it's not going to make your pet last any longer, because trust and believe. So my parents' family cat wasn't doing too well. They called the vet to make an appointment to take her, out of her misery. And I think she heard the phone call and understands English, because all of a sudden she perked right back up, and she's up and down, and she's eating, and she's doing her thing, because she knew that, oh, you can't do it on Monday. Okay, next month. Okay, next Monday. All of a sudden the cat, it seems to make a full recovery. And we're all sitting there laughing. She heard the phone call. The animals aren't dumb. Let me tell you that. They're very smart. And they heard vet, and they heard medicine, and they heard bring her in. And the cat is now recovering. She got a second stock on life. Good morning, Lydia. But yeah, put herbs. And Lydia is she has chicken, so she can tell you if she wants to type it in, if she adds herbs to her feed. But I'm mixing my food because I'm cheap. Things cost money, so I'm trying to make them as healthy as possible. And apple cider vinegar is good for our gut health. I was drinking that every day, a little bit of vinegar with my water or lemon, and that's good for our own system. All that I've been hearing, I mentioned it either last week, I can't remember, but I don't know if it was here or somewhere else. Right when I was going to get the birds to come, everything on my feed was bird flu. All kind of flu, things dropping from the sky, and I even saw a dead goose, all kind of something on the feed. And I was like, oh my God. And it was like, and I think it was Fifi. I think, yeah. And I'm like, yo, man, like they're trying to put fear in our head, because all I'm looking for is backyard chickens and raising your own meat, or laying hens. And all I'm seeing this week is bird flu. And then I said to myself, this is the problem. Bird flu happens every year. It's nothing new. It's something that happens. We get human flu every year. It passes through, it spreads from, the east to the west, and it goes across the globe, and we all get a flu. The point is, we have to build the immune system of animals as well as people. And a lot of the intervention that we've been doing has compromised the animal's immune system. So I said, okay, I'm not going to let fear come into my mind. And I said, I rebuke you, get out. I'm not thinking. I had to take my mind off of that, because I was getting like, oh my God, what if the authorities come over here and find out me have, and them say how the bird flu come from here? No. It comes from the wild migratory birds. Keep your birds, in check. They should be fine. But the problem is I think that something's going on with the interference with humanity and animals, and now their immune system is compromised, and that's why they keep getting sick. Because nobody was dropping from the sky before. Why do you think whales beach themselves for? Something's going on with the water. The ocean is dirty, and they're trying to tell us, and we're not listening. Cider vinegar is good for their gut health too, and please don't give them the herbs and vinegar at the same time. Okay, occasionally. Yeah, I don't do vinegar. I did vinegar the first day because they just arrived, and I put some vinegar in today. Yeah, this morning, because I had to top up their water. But yeah, I won't be doing it. Yeah, I figure that's a bit too much, right? It's too much of one thing. I'm telling you, the cat was sick. The cat is sick though. The cat has lost, she's skin and bones. I think she has parasites. I don't know what's going on with the cat, but I think she was, and then she had an accident on the floor, and that's what I said, yo, she got to go. That's where she got to go. I'm not going to be living with the animal, and then they're peeing and pooing all over the place, and the house is stinking, and they're ruining my good carpet, and they're ruining. I said, no, she's got to go. They're like, you don't even live here. I go, she's got to go. She got to go. And we made an appointment, and then all of a sudden she stopped making a mess. She find the litter box. She's gone blind though. She can't see, but she can smell her way to the litter box. She knows where it is. Oh, you're on a break. You know, but they heard the vet call and they yeah, distraction. So, I'm not telling anybody what to do, neither is Fifi, but we're just do your research and do things the proper way. And giving them herbs. Good morning, Curvy Key or Kai. Give them the herbs and give yourself the herbs. We're doing this herb garden challenge to expand our apothecary and to have herbs for tea, which I'm drinking some of the herbs from the challenge, and you put them in a pot or you put them in a cup that has a steeping thing, and you drink the herbs. It's not hard to make tea. You can mix it with your favorite tea bag and add a few herbs to kind of balance the flavor. And if you need honey or you need like monk fruit sweetener, that's what you do, and you have your tea. And if you're taking these things regularly, because somebody yesterday wasn't feeling well at the service and they're like, oh, they're having all these issues. I said, and I told them before, it's not the first time, I said oregano oil. And I said, when they had the kofifi, they were, I said, I take oregano oil almost every day. If I remember, sometimes I forget, but I take it every day because I get a lot of sinus. Even now I'm getting stuffy sinus infections and stuffiness. And that has kept me, I have not got a sinus infection this year. I had one last year and I said, okay, I'm going to take it every day. If you take it only when you're sick, it takes longer to do its work, or if it does it at all. If it's already in your system, then it can do what it needs to do. So I take black seed oil and oregano oil every day. Almost every day while I'm at my desk working, I put the diffuser on with eucalyptus oil and I inhale it. And I have not got a cold. I've gotten a little stuffiness that's drained out, but I haven't got a cold or sinus infection. And I told her she has it there. She's not go home tonight and have a dropper full, not one drop, the dropper full. That's gonna be like 40 drops. If you can't take the taste, put some, juice after as a chaser. And then in 48 hours, you'll find that whatever was in your system is going to be gone. So I'm waiting to hear back from her. But there's no point of having all these herbs and you're not using them. I give my chickens scobies. Yeah. So you're giving them probiotics. She's giving her chickens probiotics and kombucha. I'm telling you, if it's good for us, now, again, I'm not a vet. None of us are vets. I'm just talking some theories here. Do your proper and due diligence and your research. But if it's good for us, the goose is probably good for the gander. And she's telling us from her experience. Give your animals what they need to have a good immune system. Good morning, Miss D's Harleywood Garden. That too, Baroque Farmer. Table scraps. I didn't have any scraps because I haven't really been cooking the last, I would say, 2 weeks. Just been focusing on getting them here, getting the construction of them done. I had to go build, build this, build that. And I just been eating takeout or salads or stuff like that. That's just like raw. But I've given them the greens. I've given them some lettuce from the hydroponics, the old leaves that were getting bad. And my family already knows, like if you have some vegetable cuttings on a Monday, let me know, drop them off, or let me go get them. And Tuesday, I'll give them a bowl of your vegetable cuttings. I'm working in a community with 4 of us, and if I don't have any scraps, they must could have some scraps. If they have some old rice that's not the best, that's kind of in the fridge too long, bring me the rice. I'm going to give them the rice. Your chickens can eat anything. They already gave me their old peas. They have we had a bucket of peas in the garage for like Y2K that we forgot about, and it's not Y2K anymore. It's 2023, and it's nothing but weebles and stuff. So I took the bucket. I'm gonna cook those peas or beans, whatever you call them, outside on the barbecue on the side burner. I'll cook it out there, let it cool, and that will be their food for a couple of days. Those are not going to waste. They're going to be used, just not for us to eat, but they can eat them, and the bugs will help. My aunt, who's now passed away, is a farmer, and we used to give she'd never bought dog food. I think I said this before, I'll say it again. She never bought dog food. The dog ate scraps. So every time my family, my other aunt, my other uncle, all of the siblings basically that were here would take their table scraps, scrape them in a bowl, in a bag and put them in the freezer. And she would come down whenever she came down from way in the country, like, 2 out 3 hours away. Whenever she was in the city, she would go around and drop off like the meat and stuff that we ordered from her, and she would pick up the frozen plastic bags of like rice, bones, meat that, some people don't eat the meat off the bone, any scraps. She would go and take those frozen bags home, and she would defrost them, and then she would add sometimes a bit of kibble to it and a bit of whatever, and the dogs would eat that. She never bought dog food, and she had dogs, like hunting dogs and dogs to protect the property and the animals, and that's what they ate. But this herb garden challenge has propelled me even deeper into herbs and to many things you can do with it. I haven't been sick in years. Herbs is not for healing, it's me. Exactly. Well, it's for healing, but I know what you're saying. Like, herbs are, because the scripture says herbs are for the healing of the nation, but it's not an instant fix. You have to be having them in your system. And good morning, hands in the dirt. I see you there. It's, you have to have it in your body. It's not a pill like a doctor. Okay, take this pill. That's going to work within 7 days. Herbs have to be part of your daily practice, whether tea, whether eating salads and having things in your salad raw, juicing, whatever you're going to do, it needs to be in your system. It's not an immediate fix. Let me see here. Let me catch up with the chat. Yeah, to keep, and that's what we were talking about, Brooke. I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it a few weeks back. Belgium, the government of Belgium asked who wanted chickens, and they gave the people who wanted the chickens 3 chickens, and that basically almost took away, I can't remember the number, but like 50, let's say 50, million tons of garbage from the garbage system, because the chickens were eating the scraps, and the chickens were providing compost for people's gardens and providing people eggs. And they said that if everybody were to get even just 3 chickens, the egg industry would be out of business, and the garbage industry would be basically cut in half, because they wouldn't have to come every week to pick up garbage. Because when you think about it, most of the garbage that we throw out, like for me personally, I can throw out we're in a city that does bi-weekly pickups now. So 1 week is garbage, 1 week is recycling. So you have to hold your garbage for 2 weeks. I can personally hold my garbage probably for over a month, because it takes me that long to get one white kitchen size bag full of garbage, because everything that I do is pretty much recycling and compost. I don't produce that much garbage, and the garbage is from the packaging, from all the crap that you buy. They over package it. He said only. Well, can't you do only table scraps? Some people do. Some people do, Fifi. Some people don't give them some people don't give them I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't do it here because I'm new, so I am giving them food and I'm mixing it with some other stuff. But I know back home they didn't have no chicken feed. My uncle only bought it to feed their meat birds. They just peck whatever's on the ground. We didn't actually give them chicken feed. But back in the day they did. I give my chickens flour, salt, pepper, and smoke. That sounds like seasoning, Stacy. I think you're talking about seasoning and marinating. We're talking about laying hens. Don't let Stacy watch your chickens. Back in the day, we made that mistake and somebody actually cooked it and ate it. What is this? Okay, somebody's sending me a message, but I can wait. I'm giving my chickens noodles, dumplings, whatever. Whatever. I'm going to actually ask, and I didn't even. Oh, good morning, David. I'm going to ask my church, because I didn't even think about it, because yesterday they had, Easter. They had Good Friday. I'm not saying Easter. Good Friday. They had the fish and bread and stuff. But I'm going to let them know if they have an event and there's some wasted food. If I can take some of the wasted food home and then give it to the chickens, like the bread, the dumpling, the rice, and yeah, I'll give it to them. But people would have to put the garbage in a one bag. I'm not going through the garbage and filtering through the garbage to get the scraps. So I would have to ask them, like, not the whole event, but like if there's 5 people that were working in the kitchen and there's any waste, that they can scrape it into a bucket and I'll take that bucket home and feed them the scraps like my aunt did. Like she just went around and asked certain people to hold the scraps together for her and freeze them or whatever. And then I could probably ask some people to do that because they don't mind if they understand the long term of it, of self-sustainability. Let me just see. And I think I saw David Corey. Well, not think I saw him feeding his chickens pecan pie, and he fed them something else. He fed them pecan pie and something else. I can't remember what is it this second, but he fed them something else, and they ate it. Yes, that's what I mean. You can't wait until you get sick. Yeah, and think you're gonna get healed by drinking herbs. You have to be. I'm telling you guys, the herbs are important. This herb garden challenge is important, and if you haven't jumped on it, it doesn't even matter. Do it for your own self. There's gonna be another contest next year to compete, but the whole point of it is to actually get people to start understanding the power of herbs. And a lot of the herbs are actually good pollinators to attract these bugs into your garden. So don't think this as a play thing. This is a very important thing. A lot of these herbs are going to help us with respiratory issues. Some of us who have, it'll help. I'm not going to give any medical advice. Do your own research on what the herbs do, but they will help. And they will certainly help with your livestock. People saying good morning. Yeah, they ate pecan pie, but there's something else you fed them. I can't remember. There was something else you fed them that was like, are they gonna eat this? Was it lemon? I can't remember now, but I know I watched them both. Table scraps. That's what I gave my in-laws for Christmas presents. You sound like a Scrooge, tree rogie. But good morning to you. I don't think I saw you earlier. Good morning to you. That you must be the Scrooge or the Grinch. Mr. Grinch, you really are. I feed him like I eat. It makes me fat, so I guess it'll fatten them up too. Are you fat? I don't think you're fat. I don't think I think you come off as being tall, but I don't think you're fat, David. You don't look fat. Okay, people are just saying hello, hello. Let me catch up here. Stacy's talking about seasoning the chicken. Yeah, don't let him watch your chickens. You're gonna be missing a few when you come back. I think, are you getting chickens hands in the dirt? I think you're supposed to be getting, well, you said you're gonna get chickens, I think. I heard you mention it, so I'm not sure. I haven't seen any videos with you updating that. Sorry, that was just what I know. We grated dry coconut and corn and pulled grass and vines when. Yeah. I'm gonna be like, my goal for me, and I don't know what Lydia does, but I watch her chicken stuff. I don't know how much she feeds them commercial feed, but probably she's doing what I'm doing, which is giving them as little commercial feed as possible and giving them other stuff and weeds and grass. I'm growing wheatgrass right now. I soaked it yesterday morning at 7 a.m. and today at 7 a.m. I rinsed it off and I put it on that microgreens tray I got from Amazon. I got three trays for the price of one. So I'm growing wheatgrass. And this is another tip that I went last week, Sunday, before church. Now I'm in the store buying seeds. I went to get more seeds, and the same seeds that you got, Psalms. I got your catnip. I just haven't gone to the post office yet, but I bought a pack of catnip, and I think you already got a pack from somebody else. I can't remember the name of the person now. But I went there and got the same squash that you mentioned last week in somebody else's live, and me, you, and Mike were talking, and you bought a pack of these. They're like acorn squash. Anyways, you know the name. I found that, so I picked up that squash, and I got some cat grass. I've never grown cat grass, and we've had two cats. The cat has eaten the grass in the lawn. That was what the cat grass was. So I'm like, let me look at this cat grass since I'm here, looking at seeds. When I look at the seeds, I did not realize that cat grass was just oats. Did anybody know that? I don't know. Am I the only one? Was I just new to the game or late to the game? But cat grass, that is just oats. So I bought the cat grass, and then next to it had pet grass for quote unquote rabbits and other animals, which is also oat seeds. and the pet grass was higher priced than the cat grass, but it's both oat grass. So I came home, went on online, did the search engine, figured out what is what. And yeah, basically cat grass is the same as fodder, which is either wheatgrass, barley. You can use oats. Didn't know you could use oats for a fodder. And you can use sunflower seeds and make, sprouts and give to your animals. And there's something else. I can't remember. So I bought a pack of cat grass and I will either plant them in a pot or I'll plant them as hydroponic, and I will be giving them, that. Did not know. But let me catch up to the chat 1 second. Las Vegas buffet restaurants sell leftover food to a pig farmer, and those pigs produce the best pork. I might ask, and I'm going to ask them for their coffee grounds because I know people, higher end chicken people on like Instagram and YouTube, like they're got big channels, they're very fancy, they have sponsorships from these big companies. They use coffee grounds as their bedding for their coop, and it's like almost odor free. So if I can get the coffee grounds to use, also like make sure they're dry in the coop, as well as the compost and the plants, that might be better for me than having to keep buying wood chips, the shavings, because that's a bit it's a bit dusty, it's a bit hard to handle, and my hands are actually hurting me, and I got all these cuts and nicks from chicken wire, and like literally I look like I've been through a war. My hands are rough and tough and cut up, and my goodness. Let me see here. Those pig, okay. Fat meaning full. Well, fat is fat. Well, I would hope he can't be fat because some people, I got in trouble already for saying that, but I'll say it again. Some people, oh, the pudding. Yes, they ate the pudding. That's right. He gave his chickens pudding and he gave them banana pudding and he gave them pecan pie. But I said that before and I got in trouble. So, but if you're a real person growing your food, as I said, I think your weight should kind of match up. I'm trying to get my weight down. So I'm not being mean, but I get my weight down too because I'm eating too much of outside food and not enough homegrown food. I was really going to get, but I think I will wait until I move. Oh, you're moving? Okay. I didn't. Okay. Hands in the dirt. When you chicken sit, do you choke? Oh my goodness. I'm not putting that up there. Ain't much. I don't know why you're talking like farmers are a bad thing. Farmers, what are you, a grower? What is, you're a farmer. You're a farmer. Table queen. Yep, that's what I got. The table queen squash. I have never seen it before in my life. I don't recall seeing that, but I picked it up and I got another squash. And I'm going to plant quite a bit of it because it was Fifi. Yeah, it was Fifi that has squash that she was overwintering in her cold room, and she took out one and gave to her chickens. And she uses them to obviously feed herself, but she had extra squash that she had kept over the winter, and she gave it to her chickens. Good morning, Blues Clues. So that's basically what we're talking about today. I'm not really, I was kind of just chilling today, but yeah, cat grass is just oats. So it's not rolled oats, it's oats that you can seed and plant. So if you just have, if anybody knows, you don't have to get oats, you can just get wheatgrass, you can use mung beans, sunflower seeds, and something else I see people using to make grass. But if you can get some cat grass, I got 2 packs of cat grass. I'm going to grow it and see if they like it any better or worse than the wheatgrass. But for me, wheatgrass I can use to make wheatgrass shots. That's very good for us to get our nutrients and our chlorophyll. So that's kind of for both of us, me and the animals. The oat grass, maybe I can use them for shots as well. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of anyone doing that, but anything sprouted is highly nutritious. So I'm going to give it a try. It's not going to hurt me. That's for sure. I haven't heard anything about it being poisonous or toxic. So you're just new to the game. Let me see if I missed anything. Yeah, but they're using the chicken, they're using the coffee grounds to line the chicken coop so that when they're roosting at night and their droppings go on the coffee grounds, I guess they sift it off and then they throw the number two out in their compost pile, and the coffee grounds keep everything clean, dry, and not smelling. And it seems to be more sustainable than using um, wood shavings or whatever else that people be using. Sand. I'm using wood shavings in the coop, and I use sand in the run. But only one of them has dirty feet. I think it's probably the one that has diarrhea because everybody else's feet is clean and dry because they're in the sand. But that one Plymouth Rock, she looking kind of, yeah. So that's why I put more apple cider vinegar in the water today, because one of them has diarrhea. I can't tell which one, but she has a little mess on her feathers at the back, and her feet are well dirty. So it's most likely her. Um, Bring a 5-gallon bucket to the corner store. They dump grinds in it until it's almost full. Then they call me to get. Okay, I'm gonna have to find a coffee place that can. David's like he's fat, pretty hot and tempting. Welcome to. I'm telling you, my hands are cut up. Ash, listen, they've been dry in the videos. I know that the last few videos, my hands have been dry, but I'm talking they are drier. The cuticles look up. It's like it looks rough. These are working hands, I guess, right? These are hard working hands. Today I actually had to pick. It's gone bad. They had made a mess in the food. I just picked out their mess out the food, the clumps, put them in the compost bucket, and put the food back in there. They're gonna finish. I don't know who told them to make a mess in the food, but they're going to eat it. And I topped them up with the food. Hey, gardening with Bernie. But yeah, I get 5-gallon buckets of coffee grounds every week from local coffee shop. Yep. I don't know if you've ever tried it as whatever you call it. I want to say kitty litter. I don't know if you tried it in your as a nesting bedding. Sorry, as bedding. I don't know if you've tried it, Fifi, but that's what people are doing. There's a company that makes it by the bag full. Okay, no problem, Sam. But that's what people are using, and it seems to be there's a company that makes it. All I can tell you, hold on, I'll tell you the Instagram channel. You'll have to find it because I can't. What's it? Purely Chickens. There's an Instagram channel called Purely Chickens, and she recommends this product. It's probably in her description on all of her videos. And I think she has a YouTube channel as well, but I usually watch her more on Instagram. Purely Chickens. Find her and she will tell you what that brand is. But I'm pretty sure it's used coffee grounds. So, or maybe it's just actual coffee grounds. I don't know. But I have a couple of tubs of coffee ground that I collected over the last winter of my pods that I dump in there. I dump out the powder and throw the pods away. And I have somebody gave me a tub of coffee that was from one of the Airbnbs. And once it's opened, they don't leave it there for the other guests to use. So I take the coffee packets, like the big tubs of instant coffee. Or no, it's not instant. It's once to percolate. I take that for my compost bin, but I might try it in their nesting area tonight. I clean it this morning, but tomorrow maybe I'll clean it after tonight. I'll clean it and I'll put coffee grounds and see if it makes a difference. But they don't really smell too much because I am putting that coop powder in there and DE, and I remove the mess in the morning so it doesn't build up. But I will do a thorough clean. I'm not even sure if I'm going to do it like every 2 months because I'm not going to do it every month. And in the wintertime, that's not going to happen every month because it's going to be cold. So if I can do it maybe every 6 weeks, a thorough clean, and the rest of the time just, coffee grounds and whatever. But that seems to be what they're using. And this person has a nice coop. She keeps it very clean. Maybe for TV, obviously. This is her business, this is her livelihood. But it seems like she cleans it regularly and doesn't let it pile up. And she said it doesn't smell. So that's what I'm going to be. Some of the flavorings in the coffee, it might be bad, but I'm not sure because if they're only using it to crap on it, it's like toilet lining. I don't know if it's going to affect them because they're not eating it. And they don't seem to eat it. So I'm going to put it under one of the roosts because they have 2 little sections. I'll put it under the roost that I can access easily and see if it helps. Okay, table queen. Okay, thanks for that, Fifi. And see if it works because the wood shavings are dusty and they're not overly dusty, mind you, because I haven't been sneezing, so that tells me. But I don't know if it's good for them to be constantly exposed to all this dust. Well, some of the coffee pods that I have, I think what Tree Hoogie's talking about broke is like vanilla and caramel. Like you get coffee with flavoring, but I think Starbucks. But I think once it's, I don't think it's anything worse than anything else. Any tea leaves, it's nothing any worse. So I'm not really concerned about it. Um, so I don't think that's a concern, and they're not eating it. Yeah, and it's good for the worms, exactly. So I'm just using what I already have. I use coffee for the pods. I get coffee from the Airbnb, and it's unused coffee, and I'm gonna try that. Uh, Fifi says the coffee she gets is unflavored, just brewed. It's from a small local mom and pop breakfast spot. Okay, I haven't tried, like I use my own coffee, but I'm gonna try Starbucks or any of these big places and ask if they can do that. Yeah, Starbucks. I haven't approached them though. There's one not too far from me, but I don't shop there, but I will go and approach them for their coffee grounds. Okay, hold on. Let me see this. In case anyone isn't familiar, here isn't familiar. Only use grounds that have been brewed in your garden. Also, don't overdo it in the garden because it can raise acidity levels of soil. Okay, but that might be good for the blueberries because they like acidic soil. So I've used unbrewed coffee, to be honest. I've thrown it in the compost bin because I'm not gonna brew the coffee that I got for free from the Airbnbs because I don't know. I'm not gonna brew it. I don't drink that brand of coffee. I only drink decaf, so that's not, so I've thrown it in there. I have. And I've thrown raw eggshells. People say you're supposed to bake the eggshells. I've thrown the raw, I've done it. So I don't think it's probably not the best, but it's not as dangerous as we may think it is. And I think the worms will do the rest. But I don't percolate the coffee that was given to me from. I don't do it. I don't drink that coffee. I don't want to waste my time. I just throw it in the compost. It's raining over there. It's been raining for the last. I'm glad today it's not raining. I was tired of the rain, man. But I've been catching the rain, and I put all my pots out in the rain to get saturated with rainwater, so that when I'm going to plant in them, it's been rainwater. I was trying to get my rain catchment set up, but the price of the what I wanted has gone up, so I had to go somewhere else and get it. Hold on. Let me just fix here. Coffee grounds only good for certain crops. I just put them in the compost bin, and when I am ready to use the soil from the compost bin, that's what I do. I don't put them directly in plants. The only thing I'm going to put in plants this year is the alfalfa pellets, just to do experiment and figure that out. But most of my coffee is percolated, but not all of it. It's not. But blueberries love it. Yeah, so I think I'll put it around my blueberries. Um, my Starbucks has a section by the door, and the sign says grounds for the garden. Oh, well, maybe I should go into. To be honest, the one that's near me, I've only gone through the drive-through. I've never gone inside, so that's possibly why I haven't seen it. Broke uses it around his citrus, tomatoes, and blueberries. My peach tree, guys, and I forgot to mention, it's dead. It didn't make it. I scraped the limb. Somebody else came asked him to check. He scraped the actual main bark. He goes, "No, this is dead." So I think I'm gonna dig it up today and take it back to Costco. I'll either dig it up today and take it back today, or I'll take it back Monday night and get my money back. That's about $80 for that tree, and wait till they get some new stock in for some peach. Because when I bought that peach tree, it was the last one. It wasn't like I had a whole bunch to choose from. So if they get peach trees this year, I'll pick up one, or if not, I'll get it from the nursery and I'll order it from directly from them. Um yeah, and I put it, yeah. Anything that I haven't used myself or boil, I'll just put in the compost, let the worms do the work for me, and then the next year I just, take that soil and plant it. I think sometimes we're so afraid to make a mistake that it's gonna, like, you know, the sky is gonna fall. So the sky ain't gonna fall. It's just gonna have a bit of a side effect, or it's gonna take longer to break down, or whatever. But the sky's not gonna fall. You'll figure it out. You'll notice something happening, and you'll put something in there to compensate for what you're noticing. But the peach tree's dead. The fig tree in the garage she's just doing her thing. The beets that are in there are, I'm gonna use them, and the other trees that I ordered will be coming soon, end of May. I'm waiting for, yeah, I want a peach tree and replace the peach tree. Maybe two kinds of peaches. I do want pawpaws, but they don't have them in stock and they don't have the persimmons and they were expensive. So I'm asking the Lord to get me a sale or some other company that will sell them for a more reasonable price. But the persimmons were way too expensive. And I don't want to buy a little teeny plant that's going to take 3 years to even do. I want to kind of get fruit this year. Let me just catch up with the chat. I'm skipping some of the comments, but I went to Starbucks and Dunkin' and they acted like I wanted to make coffee off their coffee grounds. But it's used. It's used. Can I plug? I don't know what that means. You mean drop the link? I'll drop the link, if that's what you mean. And I'm gonna keep going for maybe another half an hour, and I'm gonna wind it up. Most times they won't take the trees. No, it wasn't in the ground. Oh no! And even if it was in the ground, they're taking it back. Costco will take their stuff back. I took back echinacea. I dug it up and put it back. I dug up 2 hostas and sent them back, and something else that I bought because it didn't even last 1 year. So that was the plant was not good. I planted it properly, and hostas are hard to kill. So they're taking it back. I put the peach tree in a bucket, but if it was in the ground, I'm digging. That's what's going right back, and they're taking it back. I'm telling you right now, I didn't get one peach. I didn't even get one leaf off of that plant. So they're taking that back. That even if they wouldn't, that's not even optional because I don't play around with that. But most trees come with a 1-year warranty over here, even at the blue store and the orange store. They come with a 1 or 2 year warranty. So you can dig it up and send it back. They probably don't advertise it, but they will take it back. Because I have to take some stuff back already. Go to Bottom's Nursery. They are cheap. I don't think they ship over here. I'm not sure. I think they ship over here. Okay, I'm gonna write down those names though, but I'll check Bottoms. I did check because I know Hands in the Dirt mentioned that, and I think all of YouTube went to Bottoms Nursery. But I don't know if they ship here. I don't think they ship to Canada. But I know is it Stars? I think they have a branch that ships to Canada, but the prices were a lot more because they're charging you for the shipping. But I guess you got to get what you got to get, right? And that's Gurney's. Write this down. And I'll check them out after. But yeah, the peach, and peaches are local. They're for our climate, 5B, 6A. So they can take cold. So I don't know what happened. Didn't make it. Yeah, Costco. Yeah, they're taking it back. And I know all the other big box stores do take back their trees, but people don't read the receipt because they don't tell you. But the fine print on the receipt says it's a 1-year warranty. So if you plant it in June and next June you see the plant, you dig that up and you send it right back and get your money back. And if you don't have the bill, they'll look up your credit card. That's why I pay with credit card so that they can look up the transaction, or they, and they'll give me, me not spending my hard-earned money for something that didn't give me not a one fruit. That doesn't make no sense. I'll take back even fruit that's gone rotten in the bag. I bought it the next day, it's rotten. Take it right back. Hey, Texas, Lala. Oh, listening on the TV. Okay. And that's what And I do want nectarines, but I do want nectarines. So yeah, my focus this year is on a lot of infrastructure. As I mentioned, some people are here, some people are not here every week, so you don't know. But I'm doing a lot of infrastructure in my garden. That's why I got the chickens, the chicken coop. I'm going to be getting. I got more trees coming that they're reordered. I'm getting more big containers to do some better container gardening. I do want to get the rain catchment done this year, and if I can, maybe some of the stuff can get some kind of drip irrigation off of the rain barrel, so I can just catch the rain, put a drip irrigation into some of the pots from that rain barrel, and I can just focus on maintaining the garden and not having to water and, have myself doing all these tasks that can become overwhelming, especially when you're trying to harvest, fight bug infestations, and fight all the animals. You want to kind of balance your time. So I am going to try to get the water irrigation set in if it's affordable, or just do part of the garden with that and then kind of expand next year. I didn't kill the hosta. The hosta was faulty. I don't know what it was, because the other hostas from the other store were fine. And they from the cheaper store. Funny enough, the cheaper store's one was better and the one from Costco didn't make it. And even something else I bought at Costco. Some of them they lasted for a few years, but they died. Like my pinks are gone. The balloon flower is like half there. The purple salvia though is still there. Those are beautiful. Purple salvia, and even that, guys, I did not know that purple salvia was used as a herb, because it does look like lavender and it is an herb. People use it for certain things. I'm like, oh, I've been growing it as a flower because it's cold hardy. It does well in clay soil and it's drought tolerant. But I didn't realize that that was an herb. So I'm going to be starting to look more into some of what I already have and how you can use. I know lilac bush, people use that for some kind of tea. They ferment the plant. So a lot of what I'm growing is good for you. I'm going to make sure I'm going to learn more about them, and what's good for the chickens, they can have that as well. I have never grown fruit trees. I was under the impression the first year it's rare to get fruit. I don't know, but it depends on the tree. But my pear tree gave me fruit the first. No, that's a lie. Well, the first year, yeah, because I purchased the tree in the fall of whatever year, let's say 2020. And 2021, I got about 3 pears. I would have gotten more, but the squirrel must have ate the rest, popped off the other ones. So I'm gonna have to build a cage, because I don't know what they were doing when I wasn't looking, but they took off with some of the young pears. It wasn't even developed yet, and they ruined it. But I got, yeah. But when you buy from a big box store, you get it's a good sized tree. It's not like a 1 gallon. It's like I think it was a 5 gallon pot. Yeah, I got fruit. And this year it's already budding. Somebody gave me a cutting or a branch of a small apple tree. They don't know what kind of apple it is, but it's one stick in a pot. It's been outside all winter because she told me that she kept it outside. So I kept it outside, and I can see the fuzz on the branch. So that's alive. It's gonna bud and blossom this year. It probably won't give me any fruit because it's too small, but it's alive. And there's another tree somebody gave me. I don't even know if it's a tree. It's in a pot. I can't tell what it is. And note to self, all you gardeners, you better label everything. Oh, I'll remember what it is. No, you don't. No, you won't. You're gonna go back and be like, what's that again? I took seeds out of a pepper and didn't label them when they're drying. Don't know what they are. Some kind of pepper. I don't know if it's hot pepper, sweet pepper. I have no idea. So I have to make sure I label my stuff, because I don't know what happened or what I did. Hey J3GS, good morning to you. I miss. Hold on. So I'm just trying to catch up. But most fruit trees sold in boxers are fine. Yeah, that's probably, yeah, exactly. It's not a new tree. And that's why I do like to buy my trees from them, because I don't want to have a tree that I have to wait. I don't mind waiting, but I don't want to wait 5 years for all of my trees and then I'm not going to get. So the peach tree should have gave me something, because it was a big tree from Costco. And some of the trees that were there in other brands, other species, sorry, were flowering. So those trees should have given me fruit. That I didn't get one peach. So it's dead. It's going back. I'm going to try again this year. I love peaches. I like nectarines. Um I had an apricot tree at the front, and I really regret I didn't know about trees until more recently. I would have dug up, 'cause when I moved here, the tree was so small, I could have dug it up and moved it to a bucket. The tree got too big, it started damaging the driveway. It wasn't in a good spot, and I dug it, and the electrical wire, all kind of stuff was being damaged. I had to kill it. I couldn't even dig it up, so I had to cut it down, kill it, and the root's now dead. The stump is gone, but that was a waste of a tree, because that tree, to buy that now, is going to be over $50, maybe even $100. Had I known what I know now, I would have dug up that tree when I moved here and moved it. Don't feel bad. I failed both my fig cuttings and blackberries. I am so sad. I don't know what I don't know. I had to buy my blueberries from the store, and that did not give me any berries for 2 years. I got 2 berries last year. 2. Literally 2 berries. And I just stood there and ate them right there in front of the squirrels, let them know who's boss. But I didn't get much blueberries. And it could be the soil needs to be more acidic. I didn't really do any research. I didn't have time. I was like, I have other things and other fruit and other crops to worry about. But this year I'm going to make sure that it has what it needs, because I do want to get berries. My strawberries survived the winter this year. Last year they did not have to get a whole bunch of new berries from the parents' house. They had all these extra runners. So we dug them up and put all the extras into my garden. They survived. But I am going to dig up, well, not even dig up. The strawberry patch that I have is in a large grow bag. I don't think I want a grow bag for the strawberries. I'm going to get a round raised bed, because I think that helps keep the soil warmer in the wintertime, and mulching it up. I think the grow bag was just too cold, and that's why they didn't make it. So I'm going to change that this year and make sure that I have a raised bed, like a round one, a medium sized one, and transfer all of them into the raised bed, and that will keep them a lot warmer this winter coming up. I don't want to worry about losing strawberries, especially when they are like a certain species. I had everbearing, all dead. So now I have the ones that only bear once, and I hate that. I want to get strawberries all year. For the squirrels, oh yeah, I'm ready for the squirrels this year. Trust me. I'm screwing down a lot of those spikes around the place, and I'm gonna juke them up with them spikes until I get the pew is gonna be out here in full force. I think I might even get a crossbow. Out of order. They ruined a lot of my. They even got on my veranda and dug up stuff that they didn't have, just out of spite. Dug up all my spinach. Do you know how long it took me to get spinach to germinate? It took me how many tries? Finally, and were looking nice. They dug them all up. They dug up. Anyways, you saw my videos. I'm not going back there. They make me so angry. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. I saw, funny enough, Blue's Clues, I saw before the birds came, we looked up, we saw 3 birds of prey flying last week. This week, I got them on video, but every time they swooped near me, I didn't have my phone out. So I have a video of them in the sky on Monday. So I can't tell what it is, but it's definitely some kind of, falcon or something. And there's 3 of them. They're like a family or a crew or something. I don't know. But there's birds of prey. So those squirrels, don't worry. Between the squirrels and the mice, they're being taken care of, because they're always around the 5 houses that I'm around here. And the birds are just swooping back and forth, making trips. So there are more predators, which is good. So they'll probably be more balanced this year. Yeah, I'm gonna get a crossbow, because I'm in Canada, so firearms are not really allowed per se. I can get I will get my hunting one once I get my license, which is it's kind of, I'm behind getting my picture handed into them, and they have to go through all the applications, which is going to be delayed because everyone's applying for their license. But I will be allowed to get a shotgun and a rifle, so I will be getting that, and quote unquote hunting. I'm in Ontario, Blue's Clues. I'm in Ontario, so I'll be getting that, but that's too much for a squirrel. So I'll just get a crossbow and a pellet gun. I'll save the big guns for bigger game. Yeah, overkill. Yeah, I'll get a crossbow. I want to practice my crossbowing, so that would be practice. Try to ask people for fruit tree cuttings, and when you grow them, they fruit. I'm gonna ask some. Well, the one lady gave me her apple cutting, but I don't know if the cutting's big enough, David. So, but I know it's alive and it handled the winter. So I'm gonna ask some other people. I don't even know who to ask, but I want somebody who has a persimmon. And there's some people on the marketplace selling trees, figs and stuff, but the prices was the same as buying it from a nursery. And the nursery gave me a guarantee. So I don't know what they're doing. They need to do some more homework. You don't sell your stuff on the marketplace the same price. That's a bit ridiculous. You go me. Maybe grapes. Okay, he doesn't agree. Okay. Well, my sister used to do archery. Maybe a crossbow is too much, but maybe art just a old fashioned one, archery. But I'm gonna be doing it. We used to love doing it. We were pretty good at it, and then we just stopped. We just life got busy. We just didn't do it. But she was competing at one point and with archery. So that's a skill that I want to really master again, because you can't just, again, sky is falling, everything is falling, but you can't always rely on traditional stuff. What if you can't get ammo? What if you can't get this? What if you can't get that? I don't know. Maybe I should learn how to do the old fashioned. Well, I have a machete and get archery. You can get small game, no problem with archery, and it's not as noisy. So you can be very stealth with it. But let's find solutions. Let's grow food. Let's enjoy ourselves and try not to have so much intake with all this sky is falling stuff. It's a bit much. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just me because maybe I was consuming too much of it. But I'm like, let me just step back, and this is too much of the sky is falling. Um, yeah, Mary Ma, I believe, is in. I think she's in Calgary. I believe. Yeah, there's different types of. I know they have a pellet one that's like a Glock, and they have another one that. But I couldn't. They have it behind the glass, and it's hard to get staff sometimes to come and show you. 'Cause I wanted to kind of see how it is in my hand and the size of it, but it's all behind the glass, so I couldn't really get a good look. But I think Mary Ma's. I think she's in Calgary. I don't think it's Edmonton, so I'm trying to figure out. But she's over here too. Yeah. Well, that's why I want to get down to some kind of event down with you guys. Like I know you had the Soil Family Expo, but I want to get down to something. Well, I don't want them to ship it, bro, because it's so expensive to ship over here, but where I can get and then get some of these stuff from people. Um get some cuttings from you guys and get some even order stuff from the local nursery. Like I have a brother in the States, but I don't really he doesn't really tell you when he's coming. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's a guy thing or what. Because if he was coming at a particular date or time, I could say, okay, ship them to his house. And then when he's driving over, he can just, well, I don't even know if you're allowed to bring trees over. That's not even true. Because sometimes they won't let you drive those things over because of the, you know, food and drug inspection and plant agricultural department of something or other. So that might not even work out for him to drive. I'll have to check and see how that would work if they would give him a problem. But if it wouldn't be a problem, he could just drive them over. But it's hard to say. Take care, hands in the dirt. It's hard to say. But yeah, I know some of you guys got some good trees. So it's just a matter of me getting down there to some kind of meet up or something. And when you guys are gonna have something to let you guys know I'm gonna be there. So you guys we can arrange what I can get. But I definitely want some of this. Some of y'all sent me some Stardust or sent me the moringa seeds. So I have the moringa seeds, but I haven't planted it as yet. I have to get once it's warmer outside, I'm going to get the water on. I'm going to boil some water outside and sanctify the soil, sanctify it, and get any bugs out of it, and then try to start that inside. That's why I put the garlic, the ginger outside and the turmeric. That's the gnats. Like even in the garage, I could see all the gnats just taking over. So I am going to water a lot of the plants that are the pots that were in the garage. I'm going to water them with the mosquito bits water because there's too much eggs in that soil, even to be outside. They might end up killing the plant and killing my roots, which is probably why I had to do some plants 2 and 3 times last year because the eggs were in the soil. So I'm going to figure that out. And you know, I was trying to give you a tree. Yeah, 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 exactly. I would have to get that in person. I'll have to like, drive it over. So I'll have to but yeah, I'm just waiting to figure out when I'm gonna be over there. Okay, take care, Lydia. And let some people know that, okay, I'm gonna be in the area, or this is where I'm gonna be. Can we kind of connect and get some trees and some cuttings or whatever, and hook it up. Moringa is useful in all its forms. It's a tuber. It will sleep through the winter and wake up in the spring. Well, I just had some moringa leaf tea today, and I'm telling you, moringa is a wonderful herb. Um, have a great. Okay, so oh, okay, so Broke said he gave Miss T a lemon tree at the expo, and Bamet was giving away. Oh my goodness! I saw. No, it wasn't Broke. It was, well, you were Broke was in the video. It was Sunday, who had a video showing his experience at the expo. And yeah, I think Bamet was he the one that was selling. No, no, no. I'm mixing it up. It was Pruitt that was selling fire cider and some other products. And Bamet, yeah, okay. I know who Bamet is now. Yeah, I'm telling you. Because some people want cuttings, and it's easier to get them from each other, especially knowing the tree is a fruitful tree. Man, lemon. I don't think any herb is good when you're pregnant or nursing. I think they tell you that most of those herbs should not be used. But I don't know. Do some more research. I don't know. I know some things they say you shouldn't take when you're pregnant because it could induce labor, but some things you can take when you're nursing in small doses. People drink liquor. I don't know. Whatever. I was watching a video about something completely off topic. It was that guy. I can't remember the man's name now, but if I say the name, you probably know who I'm talking about. And he basically said, they're talking about fasting and saying, "Oh, don't you talk to your doctor about that?" And he's like, "Do you talk to your doctor before you smoke and drink and take drugs, recreational drugs? Do you talk to your doctor about that first?" And the person's like, "Well, no. So why do you have to always say like talk to your doctor if I'm talking about fasting or something health related? Why do you have to always say we say it as a disclaimer because people would love to sue you? But why are you always saying, well, shouldn't you talk to?" He's like, "Do you ask your doctor when you started doing drugs?" And the person that he was talking to is a known celebrity that was on drugs, and they were just like, so I was just like, whoa, that was that was so crass, but it was kind of true because like, you know, you do all kind of things and destroy your health, and you don't ask your doctor about that, but you carrying on that have to ask him about something that's, obviously do your research. But that's it for me. I'm done. I'm gonna go out and check on the girls to see if they laid that one egg yet because I didn't get my early morning egg, and maybe the other one laid their second egg. I'm not sure, but the other four haven't paid their rent yet, so I'm gonna go check on them. Don't get caught up in all this fear porn, I guess, and fear mongering, and the sky is falling. I've been hearing that for 2 weeks, and I just kind of step back and like, eh. And I've heard so much about this flu and that flu and all the dangers. Do what you got to do, but do it with knowledge to empower yourself, and do it with wisdom. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, all three are key. And be careful, be diligent, above board, keep your birds in the place clean, use the proper products, give them natural herbs to keep their immune system up, and keep them protected. You don't need to be around wild birds, and cover them up so that other birds can't plump in their area. That's how it also gets spread. Do your research and keep them protected. Don't be afraid of what they're telling us about all these things. If you want to get your birds and you want to get quail to kind of become self sufficient, we are all in different parts of the world, and we all have different land spaces. Do what you got to do to prepare yourself. And let's stop talking about SHTF, and let's start preparing ourselves to survive if and when there's a natural disaster and things are going left. The one thing I do want to say is make sure you're stocking up on your water. You done been seeing all the pollutions, the radiation leakages, the barge being stuck, and all the stuff with the water. Every time I go to the store, I get the big 15-liter 5-gallon drums of water, and the whole place is just full of water. But if something goes left, I got enough water to survive at least 3 weeks to a month. I can't go beyond that. I'll have to survive on rainwater, but I do have enough to survive. Just do the basics and let's stop with the food porn, with the fear porn, and be kind to yourself and be kind to others and live each day like it's your last. Enjoy time with your family and friends, and let's stop worrying about what's going to crash and burn, because whether you're worrying about it or not, it's still going to crash and burn. All right, guys, I'll see you next week, God willing. And I'm going to, oh, and if you didn't see the videos for April the 5th, check out the Herb Garden Planter HGC 2023. Make sure you vote for the WIG 2022. The top 5 are there on GT Junior's website. And Sunday, coming in 2 days, he will announce the winner. I'm still going to drop my last 2 videos for the WIG to let you know how it went. But the top 5 are there. Put your votes in. Peace and blessings. See you next week, God willing. And drop #urban to drop your link. I'll let the live play a little longer. Please drop your links if you want people to connect with you, and take care.